I'd like to throw in my opinion on the mod situation for PS4 and how they've been delayed.
Where are we headed?
Piper, shut the fuck up. So here's how I personally feel about mods being delayed on PS4. I don't care. Delay them. It's fine. I know that all of the Xbox One fanboys are all trashing our console right now. But honestly, who cares? We're all getting mods. We're all playing Fallout 4. So who really gives a shit what you think about how your console is better than someone else's just because you can get mods and you have an extra 2 gigabyte, you have an extra gigabyte and about 164 megabytes. So what? Yeah, we get 900 megabytes once it actually gets released.
You just say the word.
Piper,
Nice day.
you want me to say the
Where are
word?
we headed?
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, so when it comes down to it, I personally don't care that they're delayed. I'm not going to be toxic, and no one else should be. I don't see what the big issue is. They're delaying it so that we can have a working system that doesn't break our consoles. And, our saves, more importantly. Well, maybe not more importantly, but to be honest, no mods have actually broken consoles. The whole thing with DD Productions was a hoax. It was a scare tactic by the mod author, DD Productions. It's not a big deal. The important thing is, everyone's assuming that all of us console users, all of us PS4 players, are going to become so toxic because, and all enraged just because we don't have mods yet. But personally, I haven't seen much of that. Yeah, people are upset. That's because people get upset. Who really cares? Like, it's not that big of a deal that they're delayed. It could be a good thing in the long term. And honestly, you don't really get a console. In my opinion, I wouldn't get a console to play mods on. Unfortunately, my PC, I didn't have a PC at the time I bought my console. I didn't have a good PC at the time. And I had a deal with a family member that he would contribute to me purchasing the PS4 if I rounded up most of the money. And I did, and we bought a PS4, not necessarily because of Fallout 4 or just games in general, but because I bought it for the exclusives. I bought it for Kingdom Hearts mostly, because now granted Kingdom Hearts 3 will be on Xbox One and PS4, but other PS4 exclusive Kingdom Hearts titles, such as 2.8, and any future titles, a collection in the future perhaps, anything like that, I bought it preemptively. And additionally, just PS4 seemed more appealing to me. I love the controller more. I love the user interface more. It's just, I enjoy using the PS4. And that, again, it's up to someone's own opinion. I'm not going to say, oh, the hardware's better, because who really cares? They run about the same with some minor tweaks in software and how the games run and what quality they run, but who cares? That's not the important thing. The important thing is that I bought this console for the exclusives, and I don't care what console you think is better in your own opinion. It's all based on opinion. And yeah, sure, you can look at the hardware, and yeah, there are facts as to which one does have better specs, but the rest is all up to opinion. Does it run better? I mean, again, that could be factual, but it could be based on opinion. Which one has better controllers? Which one has a better design? Which one has a better user interface? That's all subject to opinion. I personally prefer the PS4 out of all of those. But
Never thought a reporter
The Xbox One was built clunky. Piper, shut up. No one cares. You just talk all the time, and I'm trying to talk. Shut up. I got this console because of all of the different features that I saw that I enjoyed. And I bought Fallout 4 because at the time my PC didn't even exist. I had a laptop. I recently built my PC, but it still doesn't have the graphics card necessary to run Fallout 4. As far as I'm aware. I have a GT 660 something. I don't know. It's in my description of all my videos. But I have this console. The reason I don't have it for PC is because I couldn't justify spending another $50 on the season pass. Why would I do that? I spent $30 on the season pass when it was still $30 for the PS4 edition, and I never bothered with the PC edition. And I'm not gonna buy it just because Fallout 4 is on sale right now on the Steam Summer Sale. Does not mean that I'm just gonna go buy it and then buy the season pass on top of it. There's no point. So basically, what I'm saying is, at some point when Fallout 4 is much cheaper, probably when all the DLC is released, I will buy it on the PC. For now, I'm sticking to PS4, and with that comes the console mod issue. And I'm gonna say this: I am really sorry to all of the mod authors who got their work stolen from, mostly, from what I can tell, it's mostly the Xbox users. Because a majority of the I'm not saying all of them, but a majority of the Xbox players are children or immature people, self-entitled, spoiled brats. No offense to those of you who are part of the good guys, but a majority of the Xbox One player base are children and immature, self-entitled, spoiled brats. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. And a lot of those people have been stealing console mods, or stealing mods from Bethesda.net and porting them over, or having someone else port them over to the Xbox and to consoles, because they're self-entitled, spoiled brats. And that is not... It's not okay. It's wrong. It's stealing. And it's not something that should be done. And I feel really bad for all the mod authors, and I want to apologize for the console community. Not necessarily PS4 players, not necessarily all Xbox players, but all of the console people who have been stealing these mods and saying it's okay, because it's not okay to steal someone else's work and then post it on Bethesda.net claiming it as your own, or saying it's stolen. If it's your work, you need to get... If it's your work, you put it on there. If it's not your work, what are you doing? My game seems to be broken. I can't use my Pip-Boy. So, listen, I'm going to make this as clear as I possibly can. If it's not your work, whether you credit the person or not, it is wrong to steal said work. You are required by law, and just by common sense and common courtesy and moral obligations, to ask the person who put in all that work, ask that person if you can upload their mods. And I guarantee that they'll say no a lot of times, because they're working on it themselves and they want to do it themselves so that they know it works. They don't want someone who's inexperienced or someone who doesn't know how their mod works to start tampering with it or porting it over. Let the experts who have their own work, let them do it. Because they know what they're doing. It's their mod, it's their work. They know what they did to their mod. They know how it was built, for the most part. Granted, sometimes they forget, but that's beside the point. They know how it works. So there is no reason for someone else to be coming in and porting it over. Because then if it's broken, you don't know what you're doing to fix it. So, overall, what I'm trying to say is, first of all, as a PS4 Fallout 4 player, I am fine with Bethesda pushing back the release date for PS4 mods. As long as it's working at launch, fine. As long as it's working well, I don't care. Good on them. Get it done. Do it right. I'm not going to be impatient about it. As long as it's out within the next couple of months, because they did promise us June. So, as long as we don't have to wait 6 months or more without any information, as long as they update us about what's going on, then I'm okay with it. Do it. Get it working, and then release it when you're ready. Don't wait 4 years to do it, and don't leave us in the dark. As long as they do that, I'm okay with it. As for the 900 megabyte limit, yeah, that kind of sucks. And yes, we are getting harassed by Xbox One players and fanboys and immature little brats about, oh, you've got a shittier console, you've only got 900 megabytes, we have 2 gigabytes. Like, who cares? We're on console. It's not about Bethesda saying it. It's about Microsoft and Sony putting limits on their consoles for mods. So, because they don't want to be held responsible. Piper, shut the fuck up. And eventually, it'll probably change. It'll probably increase once the companies who own the consoles and who made the consoles see how it works and see how they run with console mods. But that's up to them. It's not up to Bethesda. And who cares that you've got 2 gigabytes or 900 megabytes? People on PC can have terabytes. They have terabytes worth of space that they can allocate just to mods with SSDs and hard drives and all that other stuff. On Skyrim, I have 115 mods, give or take, and I have several gigs. A chunk of my hard drive is used for mods. It may not be a large chunk, it could just be a sliver, but a lot of my space is taken up by Skyrim mods. And yeah, 900 megabytes is nothing, or 2 gigabytes is nothing, and 900 megabytes is less than nothing. It's minuscule, and there's barely anything you can do with it. But at least it's something, Whether you have 2 gigabytes or 900 megabytes, you're still being limited.
People have been complaining about the bed situation.
Okay, fine, I'll build you some fucking beds. But it doesn't matter, okay? It's all about, yeah, we're on consoles. Yes, we're limited. It's the first time to have console mods, especially for a Bethesda game. So, it's not that big of a deal that we have limitations. It makes sense. And there's no reason for everyone to start bitching and complaining about it and fighting over console, which one is better, because who cares? You're just trying to start a war you're trying to continue the console war for no reason. You still got limitations. Suck it up. If you didn't want limitations, if you wanted a larger chunk of space for mods, get a PC. Don't start some petty conflict. There's no point. You're just making yourself sound more toxic and childish than it's worth. What's it gonna get you by complaining and sounding like a spoiled little brat? Or, you know, a freaking 12-year-old? What does that get you? You don't get credibility. You don't get any sort of, like, recognition or like, reputation. You know, you get looked down upon. And then, by extension, you make the entire community of console players just looked down upon as toxic and corrupt and bitchy and pathetic and childish and immature, and it's not helpful to anyone. It's not beneficial to anyone's situation when you do that. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping anyone else. You're just making yourself look like a child, a petty child, who has nothing better to do with their life. How is that going to help anyone? So, stop with your petty, immature, Xbox One is better, PS4 is better, because everyone knows that beyond simplicity, consoles can't hold a candle to PC. And as a console player for many years, and someone who still plays a lot on console, I consider this to be saying a lot coming from me. I enjoy consoles. I think they are great in their own respects and in their own regards and in their own ways. PC has advantages, upgradability, cost of games. But, you know, and you know, console players can't hold a candle to that. Overall, PCs are much cheaper. A PC player life is overall much cheaper than a console player's life. Because PCs, you build one, it's got a higher upfront cost, you build it, you get on-sale games all the time for dramatic discounts, especially with the Steam Summer Sale, and you get, you know, upgradability. Whereas with consoles, you're, you know, doing, like, you have to upgrade every couple of years, and you pay essentially full price for games most of the time, plus a $60 online multiplayer fee. So what's the point? Like, why are you complaining when you're paying more? Or why are you complaining? Why are you trying to start a war between, you know, console players when you're starting a war when you've got one of the most, like, inferior gaming lifestyles, that one of the most expensive and, you know, costly lifestyles out of all of them? Who are you helping? You're not helping anyone by not only complaining, but just being a toxic, spoiled little shit. And I'm sorry. And you know what? I'm not sorry. Because all of the good console players, all the people who don't try to start a war, all the people who aren't toxic all the time, such as myself, those are the good people. And those are the people who should be concerned. Because it's our reputation being put on the line. We're being generalized by mod authors, by gaming community in general, you know, PC players, other console players. We're being generalized. And it's really poor on us. It's really a bad reflection on us. And I'm sick of, you know, players doing this to us. I'm sick of us allowing other people to do this to our community and make us appear like we're all children and like we're all toxic, because we're not. And They're basically making it so that we are all the same. That we're all looked upon as identical. That we're all generalized. And they're all making us look like our community overall is just trash. Console wars need to stop. No one cares. It's not helping anyone. It's making you look pathetic and petty and childish. That's all it's doing. So knock it off. Grow up. And stop being a petty little shit. Okay? Now, finally, last point that I talked about a little bit earlier. Console players stealing mods to put on Bethesda.net. If it's not your work, don't touch it. Don't steal it. Don't upload it. Don't ask for donations, because it's not your work. If you spent hours, and I'm not talking a menial amount of hours, I'm talking hundreds, thousands of hours working on a mod, would you want someone stealing it from you? The answer is no. All that work that you put into that, you wouldn't want it taken from you. You would not want someone to claim that it was their doing. Like they did it. Like they're the geniuses behind it. You wouldn't want someone claiming money off of your mod. You wouldn't want to have your work stolen. Don't steal someone else's work. You didn't do it. It's not your creation. It's not your idea. You didn't put in the work. Leave it alone. You want it ported so bad? Ask them once. If they say no, it's a no. Get a PC. If they say they're going to do it, then good. Be patient. And if it is broken, if the mod is broken on your console, and you got this... Now, if it's a stolen mod, and you can see it's a stolen mod from the description, if it's clearly a stolen mod, report it as stolen. Report it as fraud, stealing, whatever, on Bethesda.net. If it's not working, if your genuine mod is not working, I can't stress this enough. Tell the mod author exactly what the issue is. Don't be like, it's broken. Be like, so let's say this one pylon. No. Let's say there's a chair. No, let's not do that. Okay. Let's say that it's a container, right? Now let's say it's this. Now, let's say this container just teleports randomly. So one day it's here, I fast travel, I come back, it's here. Or there's something, or like stuff gradually gets removed from it, or something like that. Tell the mod author, container X is getting moved randomly throughout my locations, and stuff is gradually being removed from it. And then if they ask you a question, find out the answer for it, and give it to them in the most descriptive way possible. However, don't leave like massive paragraphs or an essay long of what's wrong with it. Just say, this isn't working. I've tried this, this, and this. This is my exact issue. Can you please help? And then wait for their response. And if they say they need to add some sort of thing, wait for them to fix the mod. But don't keep harassing them about it. As long as you've got some sort of response, wait a few days for them to respond. If they don't, leave another comment or message. After approximately 3 days. Personally, I'm not a mod author, but I know that people do this only for their credit, for their recognition, and for their reputation as a good mod author. And because this isn't a job for them, they don't get paid. Now, they can do donations, but only, you got little shits stealing their mods and asking for donations. Piper, shut the fuck up. So, all in all, what needs to happen? What needs to happen is everyone needs to respect that it is not your work, it is someone else's work, and you need to leave that alone. Respect the mod authors. Don't harass them about, will this be on this platform? Because chances are, I mean, I know that's just annoying them, so just stop bothering. If they decide to release it, they will release it. Stealing mods is wrong. Endorsing stolen mods is wrong. Downloading stolen mods and donating to the people who have stolen the mods is wrong. Knock it off. This is someone else's work that they've put in, someone else's ideas, someone else's hard work and long hours that they've put into doing this. So stop stealing. You're making things worse for yourself, and if you keep doing it, they're gonna leave. I'm not a mod author. I've never made a mod in my life. I've never even looked at the creation kit for Skyrim or any other game. The only thing I know how to use is Unreal Engine, and I barely know how to use that. I'm a newbie at that. But even still, I wouldn't want my work stolen. You wouldn't want your work stolen. Don't steal from someone else's work. It is wrong, and it's... Shut up, Piper. You are creating a bad example and a reference, and you're making our community look bad. It's pissing me off. I'm sick of hearing people say console plebs are all fucking pricks and retards and douchebags. I'm sick of it. And it's because of the console players who are like that and who are creating this image of all console players, and we're being generalized because of the people who are like that. And it's so prominent. It's such a big part of the console player base that that it's all people can see. And it's all people know console players for. Long story short. Piper, shut up. Long story short. Console players, cut the shit. Quit being immature, self-centered, self-righteous, selfish little, self-entitled little fucking pricks about everything. No one owes you anything. If you want the definitive mod experience, play on PC. If you expected limitations, or if you didn't expect limitations, what can you do? There's nothing you can do. We get limitations. Big deal. Deal with it. For those of you who didn't expect limitations and who think that limiting the amount of mods you can have on console, why? Why would you expect it? Like, of course we're gonna have limitations. You know, Microsoft and Sony just don't want people installing a bunch of mods and breaking their games or their consoles or their saves and then complaining to them about it. So they're gonna institute some sort of change, some sort of limitation, so that they don't get a whole bunch of complaints all the time, for the time being at least. And then maybe once they see it running smoothly and, you know, not getting a whole bunch of complaints about broken shit all the time, maybe they'll increase it. But until then, we have limitations. You're gonna have to suck it up and deal with it, because it's not going to go away. Not for a while, anyways. And yeah, I'm a little bit upset about what the limitation is, but that is not Bethesda's fault. Bethesda has its own issues, yes, but I don't know. I'm just so sick of all of this drama and all of this crap.
Raiders thought we were easy pickings.
All the people stealing mods, you're screwing it up for all of us console players. All of us who couldn't afford a PC at the time we bought the game. All of us who bought the game when it came out because we couldn't afford a PC or because we weren't able to get it on PC for whatever reason. You're screwing it up for us. And it makes me upset. I am genuinely distraught when I hear about this stuff. It's just a bad example on the rest of us. It makes every console player look bad. And I don't want it. I really want people to stop. Because all it's doing is making us look bad. Especially the good people. It's making the good people look bad too. I'm tired of it. It needs to stop. And it needs to stop now. Before it gets screwed up for us permanently. So, that's the end of this rant. So, that's going to do it for this episode. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.